Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, today I'm going to be talking about one of the key factors that lead to happy, successful marriages. And this key factor is commitment. Commitment is one of the most important key factors that the Gottman research, 40, 50 years of research with thousands of couples, have shown that will lead to successful marriages. Commitment. And so, we're going to be looking at commitment. We're going to be looking at the effort that commitment requires. Thankfully, when you put in the effort, there is some rewards. So we're going to be looking at some of the rewards that you're likely to experience as a result of the effort. So yay. And we're going to be talking about some rituals of connection, some things that um, the commitment will lead to. And as a result, you will be able to experience these wonderful results. So, the first thing that I want to do is I want to ask you, have you ever experienced the time when you're talking to a friend, or maybe it's been your own personal experience, where you're talking about their previous relationship, whether it's a previous marriage or a previous partner, and they're talking about their experience with the individual, their ex. They'll probably recall how in love they were, or how much they love that person. And whenever I hear people say that and talk like that, it just gets me to think, well, if you guys loved each other so much, if you loved your spouse so much, or if you guys loved each other, why did you guys end up getting divorced, or why didn't the marriage work? And so I have come to learn that it takes more than love. Love is great and we need love, but it takes more than love. It takes commitment. And so that's why I'm going to be focusing on commitment in this video. So, commitment requires effort. What are some of the efforts that I would like to suggest that you should put into your marriage? What are some of the efforts that you should make? I'm going to touch on listening and listening without judgment or without interrupting, making compromises when the decisions of life needs to be made and they affect both parties and the couple and the household, supporting each other through the tough times, being there to as you know as each other's backup, as it were, making sacrifices for each other, and that requires a lot of effort and a lot of commitment, and being grateful. Being grateful shouldn't be something that requires a lot of effort, but sometimes it does. And so let's talk about the effort then. What are some of the efforts that needs to be put into your relationship? Well, listening is a very important thing, because if you're able to effectively listen to your spouse, they're going to feel heard and understood. And if you have a culture of listening to each other in that relationship, then that's going to lead to a great bond between you. Listening becomes difficult when it's a heated debate and you've got your own opinion and you really want to correct your spouse and just let them know that actually, yeah, good idea, but no, you're not quite right there. Also, bear this in mind. Let's put this factor into the equation. But doing that will cause your spouse to not feel as heard or as listened to or experience the compassion and the empathy that they will need. And so, pausing, listening, listening to understand. And actually, when you do that, when you're able to listen to understand, you'll find that you'll be ready to respond in a way that is going to be mutually beneficial in taking the conversation in the right direction. So that's an important part of that kind of effort. That is an important part of making the relationship work, and that requires effort. So that is the first thing. The second thing is compromising when it comes to decisions that affect the individuals and the relationship as a whole. So some decisions are not so important. You'll know the important ones and you'll know the ones that are not so important. The important ones, when you come to make those decisions, you need to have equality, a level of equality in the relationship where one person isn't the dominant one and the other person just goes wherever he or she is told to go. The decisions then should be equally made and equally decided upon. And so that may require some compromise. That may require some, stepping back your expectations and seeing what you can do to make it work. Again, that requires effort. Supporting each other during tough times. Now, I wish and hope that you will never experience any tough times, any difficult times. I hope it will always be a bed of roses for you. Okay. Um, Unfortunately, life isn't that way. And one challenge for one couple may be nothing for another couple, and a different challenge for another couple might, bring the other couple to the wall, as it were. When those days come, when those challenges come, how are you at supporting each other and being there for each other? That is the key. And that requires effort. It requires effort to be there for each other, to support each other, and to make sure that that love is translated into that kind of action. Sacrificing for each other. And by the way, all of those things and everything that I've mentioned so far does require a degree of sacrificing for your spouse to let them know that actually you are this important to me, and that requires effort. Being grateful is the last one I want to touch on. And why should being grateful be such require so much effort? Well, I wish it didn't, but unfortunately, in life it does, because we can get into kind of a negative frame of mind if we're not careful and not be grateful for the people who are dearest and closest and most important to us. And so, acknowledging your gratitude and then expressing it is something that requires effort, and something that I want to suggest that you do. So let's talk about some rewards then. What are some rewards that you're likely to experience as a result of that effort that I just mentioned? Well, you're going to experience greater trust with each other. And I like to think about trust as reliability. So you want to reflect on what do you need when things are really difficult, when you need the support, when you need encouragement, when you need love, when you need respect, when you need someone to be there for you in those difficult times, as I mentioned before, is your spouse, and that means your ability to rely on them. So trust is about reliability. One of the best expressions or experiences of trust that I've seen is the research into attachment styles by Mary Ainsworth, and she found that the children who were seen as having a secure attachment with their caregiver, they were able to recover quickly when they were left alone in the room as a part of the experiment, which is a questionable experiment for the that may not get approval in this time and day. But the results of the research was so powerful in that the children who were securely attached were easily to recover from the distress of being left alone in that room by their caregiver, and it demonstrated that they knew they could rely on their mom or their dad, whoever the caregiver was. And so this is the kind of trust. This is the importance of trust, knowing that your spouse is going to be there for you, whether in front of your face or behind your back, and that is one of the rewards for putting in the effort that I mentioned before. Emotional intimacy. One most wonderful rewards and blessings that you can experience in your marriage is emotional intimacy. Is that being able to fully understand your spouse and feel fully understood by them. And having that closeness is so sweet and beautiful and rewarding. And that does not come without effort. And so that's a reward for all the effort that you put in. Another one is mutual respect and appreciation. And mutual respect and appreciation is it does require effort, but it's also a reward for the effort, because uh, relationships where couples do not experience appreciation and mutual respect for each other, they are not happy people. That is not a happy marriage or relationship, and it's not going to end very well. So that is one of the most important rewards. Um, I want to say one of the key and sweetest rewards for putting the effort into your marriage is joint happiness, experiencing that joint uh, pleasure with life, and just the gratitude of being able to come home and see that loved one and be with them, and just be grateful for the things, and just go through certain things in life and be grateful for each other. So those are some of the rewards that you can expect for putting in the effort. What then about the rituals and the connections? So um, some rituals of connection that I engage with in my marriage with my wife Caroline is we often express how much we love each other. So every day we tell each other we love each other. It's one of the first things we hear in the morning, one of the last things we hear at night. And we often do it as well when we're on the phone. And you might be thinking, wow, you guys, you guys are, yeah, you guys are insecure or something. No, it's just a habit. We just get into the habit of expressing to each other how much we love each other, and it's a pleasure to do that and to feel that love. So I commend it to you. Um, the other thing is having an opportunity to spend some time each week, usually on a Sunday for us, but I don't know what works for your schedule. But spend some time in the week just reflecting on the week and reflecting on each other, and having some deep and meaningful conversations with each other. The Gottmans also found that this constitute the love maps, that foundation of their sound relationship house theory. So yeah, take the time to do that, and that will become one of the great pleasures in your relationship. And I want to talk about celebrating the small wins and the small achievements in life. Hopefully, your marriage is a bed of roses, but if it isn't, there's going to be some challenges and some difficulties that you can overcome. Those overcoming those are wins. Overcoming those challenges are wins. And so if you can celebrate the overcoming those challenges together, that's one of the more beautiful things that you can experience together. The achievements, and that binds you together and makes your connection and your relationship even stronger. That leads me to the next one, which is laughing together. Me and Caroline, we love to laugh together. We laugh about the silliest things, and laughing together brings us close, and it really connects us in terms of a bond, and it helps us to go through life, go through the difficult things of life, and not feel so under such pressure, and being able to cope. The 86-year research in the Harvard University, the research on human development, they found that the people who were really thriving and who were really successful, they were adaptable, and they were able to look at things with the right perspective, and they were able to recover when things were not working out right, or when changes, especially unexpected changes, occurred in their lives. And so being adaptable, being willing to laugh at ourselves and our mistakes and learn from them, if they're serious mistakes that we need to learn from, and do better next time and grow together, is one of the things that is a ritual of connection that we have in our marriage. Um, Snuggling up and enjoying a show together. That's one of the things that we love to do. And I think there are two blessings out of that. The first blessing is you get to enjoy some good entertainment. Hopefully, you're watching something good, nice, and entertaining. And secondly, you get a nice dose of that oxytocin, the connection hormone that usually fills us with such coziness and such joy and such deep connection. So yeah, that's one thing that we do. I commend it to you also. The last thing is I want to talk about is serving together. And serving together is a ritual of connection for us, because especially in our church community, we get the opportunity to be of service to other members of the church and the wider community in community service projects and things. And these opportunities allow us to get closer as a couple, become closer as a couple in the act, and also experience the joy of lifting and helping other people. That is a ritual of connection that we enjoy in our marriage. So, but in my relationship coaching program, one thing I do is I try to encourage couples to make these efforts become a part of the agreements that they have in their marriage. So, if you can imagine, you're at a wedding, and quite often I've experienced it, where the couples are there and they're reading out their vows to each other, and they're so sweet and romantic. And Caroline always get teary-eyed, And unfortunately, in the months and years to come, they forget those vows that they read out to each other. Certainly, the moment is forgotten. What we do in our coaching program is we encourage couples to transfer those vows that they've read out to each other into covenants or agreements with each other, actual agreements that they promise to keep, they sign, they frame, and they put on their bedroom walls. And they're able to bear these thoughts about each other, these very positive and wonderful thoughts about each other in mind. And it helps to automate the effort and leading to the reward and helping them to engage in those rituals of connection. And so this is one of the things that we do to help our couples. If you have any questions about what we do, if you know of anyone who may benefit from any of our service, please go ahead and contact us. The contact details are below in the information box. One thing I would like to challenge you to do though before you go today, this very day, go to your spouse and tell them how much you love them and how lucky you are to be married to them because they're such wonderful people. Go ahead and do that and watch how you feel. Have a wonderful day.